Ahava and blessings. Welcome to this episode of Hold the Shehina. This podcast is offered to support us during this crucial moment in our collective ascension process as beings on this beautiful planet, Pachamama, Mother Earth, Mother Gaia. And the purpose is to support us in remembering, activating, awakening, embodying, and integrating our fullest essence, the infinite light of our soul, the true nature, our truest essence, which is that of light, that of creation, that of that self that is at one with all that is. I am your host. My name is Aurea. I am a Reiki Master, Energy and Sound Healer, and an ordained Magdalene Priestess. And I am your guide on this beautiful Thursday that I'm recording. And today is the feast day of the Virgen de la Almudena. And this is one of my favorite Black Madonnas. She is the first Black Madonna that I just recently visited when I was on pilgrimage in Spain and in France. And it was a very powerful activation and rebirth process, just getting to her, traveling out of her cathedral. It was a really powerful time. And I think it is very, very mystic and very opportune that she is the frequency that is coming to me and into my awareness as I'm recording this, as we're going into this powerful new moon in Scorpio, which is at 20 degrees, which will be on Monday early in the morning. And I'm already feeling the intensity of this Scorpio new moon. And for those that might not be as familiar with astrology, just a little bit of a quick Cliff Notes version of the frequency of Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto. Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio, Pluto the modern ruler. And Scorpio is an incredibly deep, powerful, transformative sign. Very deep, mysterious, secretive. It's about the mysteries, which is why the Black Madonna just is the perfect embodiment of the frequency at this point, because it really is about going deep into the mysteries, in returning into that cosmic womb, that void of creation, that place where the Black Madonna resides, that deep, earthy renewal, rejuvenation, restoration, all of those this is the time that it's about deep transformation, powerful transformation. And Scorpio is about power. Scorpio is a very powerful sign. If you know a Scorpio, you know they have a very powerful magnetism about them. There's something really deep and it just gets you. That's this frequency we're working with. It's deep, it's intense, it's mysterious, it's powerful. It's really about us coming into our power and coming into our sovereignty. This new moon is conjunct Mars. So again, that fiery element is amplified by the conjunction. Conjunctions are when planets are within 5 to 7 degrees off of each other. And the moon and the sun are at 20 degrees. And I believe Mars is at 22. So it's really, really close. And today is also the day when the moon and Venus are together in Libra. So we're still, and as you listen to this on Friday, you're still going to be receiving these energies of coming into harmony, coming into union, bringing duality into union. And this is definitely a lot of what I've seen in coming up for me personally, because there's I know that as human beings, well, as soul beings having this human incarnation, sometimes being in our physical body, or oftentimes, it's not the most comfortable place. It just feels confining and constraining, and we don't really know what to do with this. So doing the normal muggle things like moving or starting a new job, all of these things just begin to take on a different meaning under this powerful time of transformation. It just seems like layers upon layers that are being removed. Seeing yourself in a very different way and peeling the layers back of yourself. So for me, it's been a move that began the move that brought me to Atlanta in the end of March. And now it's more than 6 months later, and I'm just getting my house together. I'm just getting things organized, and this is beginning to feel like a home. And for a Cancerian, that is very, very important. Like the feeling of home, the feeling of harmony. And Taurus is my chart, Venus is my chart ruler. So for me, beauty and harmony is very important. Luxury, I like to feel enveloped. I love soft, beautiful, luxurious things. And what's interesting is I've had the hardest time connecting to my life here and connecting to this house, which is my new home, our new home as a family. So it's what came through during this portal of this new moon was that strong urge, that strong calling to bring everything into union and to see clearly that what I perceive that is outside, that all the things that I'm kind of nitpicking that is wrong, air quotes, wrong with the situation, with the house, with whatever, because this can be translated into any circumstance. We have a tendency, because of our upbringing, because of our family, because of, you pick it, no judgment, it just is what it is. We have a tendency to kind of nitpick and focus on the things that are not working, the things we don't like, the things that don't jive, instead of allowing them to be and allowing them to show us their magic. Show us what they are here to teach you, to teach me. And what this house was here to teach me and is teaching me is that I need to see the beauty in all of the different iterations of myself, of my life and my journey. And I thought I had done that, but now I'm going so much deeper, and I have such a sense of appreciation for all of those lessons, starting with the lessons of abundance and of scarcity mentality and of resources being limited in terms of my upbringing when I was growing up. And it's been like I can see now why there was these different arcs in my life, and the purpose of them to unravel my soul gifts. So it's this, if you aren't feeling the intensity of this energy, it's coming. But I invite you to take this time to look at all of those parts of yourself. Those parts of yourself that you might be hiding from, those parts of yourself that you might kind of have put in the back burner. Oh, I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm too busy. Because we make excuses. We make excuses for not dealing with what is being brought to our attention. And it's time to stop, because when we don't deal with what is in front of us, what is coming up for us, what we wind up doing is delaying the blessings. We're delaying the inevitable healing process that we are undergoing by paying attention to what is coming up for us and not judging. Yesterday I was in tears. Don't judge yourself for being in tears. And if you have people around you that are like, well, why are you so sad? Like, well, I'm not sad. I'm feeling my feelings. And it's important for everyone to feel their feelings. And it's important to recognize when we are trying to avoid and come back to why we are avoiding certain topics, certain conversations, why certain emotions or dealing with certain kinds of people is so triggering. Because it's, again, everything outside of you is a mirror of the internal world. Everything is showing you a different aspect of you because everything is you. Everything outside of you is showing you what you need to heal, what you need to elevate, what you need to ascend, what you need to bring into being, what you're here to birth and what you're here to create. Because again, so Scorpio, very sexually magnetic energy. This and our power comes from our ability to create. Our sexual energy is the energy of creation. So really harnessing our energy, being responsible with how we employ our energy, what we are giving our attention to, what we are feeding with our energy. Are you feeding creation, or are you feeding more of the diatribe of disloyalty or disunity or, bad people, good people, and that, again, that narrative, it's played out. We've been playing this same narrative again and again and again. And it seems that humanity still has a lot to learn. So have compassion for yourself. Let's start removing judgment. Let's start tuning into our own inner awareness, using our discernment, our wisdom. And some of you may be thinking, well, I don't know if I have any of that, or I don't know if I have enough. You have enough to get you where you need to be. It's a never-ending process. We're always cultivating and developing more wisdom and more discernment and more knowledge and more awareness. We're always developing. We're always in this stage of creation, of death, rebirth. This is the cycle that is this experience. It's mastering our energy, and mastering our energy is mastering your sexual energy, and your sexual energy is what feeds your focus. So what you pay attention to expands. So if we are paying attention to programs of greed, of lack, of separation, of disunity, of, oh, that's bad, this is good, this is how to spot false light. Again, you're feeding more of those distortions. And you're feeding that beast. I'm not necessarily, I'm not going to call it a beast. We're feeding that parasite, because that's what it is. That parasitic energy that is leeching off of us, that is coming back to continue to warp our perception, and to continue to make us not believe in our own power, in our own sovereignty, in our own abilities, in our own infinite nature. Anything that serves to disconnect you from your source, which is God, Goddess, the divine, all that is. Anything that either intervenes or seeks to disconnect and kind of divert your focus is something we need to look at. We need to look at why we are allowing that to sort of steer us a little bit east or west of due north, of where we're trying to go, of our embodiment, of our truest nature, our soul. Because ultimately we're all here to live lives of infinite expansion, of infinite creation, of infinite sovereignty, of beauty, of grace, of I mentioned creation. Creation keeps coming up because new moon portals are powerful for seeding new ideas into being. And this is no different than any other, except it's magnified by the power of Mars. That forward momentum, that moving energy forward in the highest expression. Because again, we do live in this world, and this world does operate on polarity and duality. And again, we are seeking to bring into harmony, to bring into union all of these seemingly disjointed parts of ourselves. And it is in those parts of yourself that you don't want to honor, that you feel ashamed, or that you feel guilty over. It is in those parts that the deepest medicine of your soul resides. The deepest beauty you can exhibit in the world is in these places that we're afraid to look. Because we're afraid, oh, well, if I let the genie out of the bottle, then what? Then the magic starts. Then we really are able to embrace all aspects of ourselves. And when we can embrace all aspects of ourselves, it makes it easier to embrace and accept all aspects of others. And we can be kinder and gentler and more compassionate and recognize that we are all on a soul's journey. It may look different than yours. It's a different expression. It's a different way of flowing. And it's still every bit as valid as yours. It's every bit as beautiful as yours. So there's really, we remove the judgment, we remove the shame, we remove the guilt, we remove those programs that continue to divide our psyche, divide ourselves from our soul, our infinite light, divide ourselves from one another. Like now is a really beautiful and powerful time to be doing this work. So if you're listening to this, I hope that this is resonating with you, because it's time. It's time to love unconditionally. It's time to let the walls down around our heart. So many of us have experienced deep pain and deep suffering and traumas that some of us don't even want to share with anyone else, because it's painful and because we don't want to be looked at differently. But why are you looking at yourself differently? Because you went through that. Just the fact that you went through those trials and those challenges, that's proof of how resilient you are, of how strong and resourceful and how amazing you are. How powerful that you're still able to smile, that you're still able to share even a fraction of your light. Because some people just shut down completely. But you're still expanding. You're still doing the work. You're still moving forward. And moving forward will look different for everyone. And there is no shame in that. There's no judgment. There's no value assignment to it. Your journey is your journey alone. And you'll have friends and loved ones that will be your cheerleader and some won't. And that's okay. How much grace can you have for yourself? How much compassion can you show yourself? How much love can you show yourself? How much can you nurture and nourish yourself? Especially for those of us that maybe we weren't nourished as much growing up. How can you nourish yourself right now? How can you take care of yourself? How can you love yourself more fully? How can you stand in your power? How can you more deeply resonate and use this alchemical energy to transmute whatever is dense around you? Because if it's dense for a reason. God, Goddess makes no accidents. It's not, oops, look what I created. No, I'm just going to let this chaos into the world. No. Every being, every creation has a purpose. Everything, every rose has its own beautiful way of unfurling its petals. The same is true for you. You are unfurling your rose petals and growing your roots and your stems and your leaves in a way that is uniquely you. You can't be anyone else. You weren't here to be anyone else. You are here to embody the codes, the light that you chose to embody. You chose your family. You chose your circumstances. You chose the people around you who were going to be there. You chose everything. So if you chose everything, doesn't that tell you how powerful you are? Your soul knows you got this because you have all the tools. You have everything within you. It's already there. It's a matter of diving deep and coming into integration, embodiment, and remembrance. And this is what the Black Madonna supports us in unveiling, in revealing. All of this beauty, this grace, this love, these gifts that are untapped. You have an infinite reservoir of resources within. So the Black Madonna is asking us, go deep. Do not be afraid of the waters. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid of the depths. Do not be afraid of the darkness of the void, because it is in this darkness that you allow yourself to be rebirthed again and again, that you awaken to deeper aspects of yourself, that you explore the deeper mysteries of your soul and come into union with those mysteries, coming into union with that infinite light of your soul of creation that is expressing itself through you. We are transforming, we are shedding, we are rebirthing, we are letting go of those layers, that old skin that kept us bound and small. We are stepping into our power, stepping into our sovereignty. And this is leading up to the 1111 portal for manifestation. It is leading up to the Pleiadian alignment, which begins on the 15th, when the Pleiades begin to, come into alignment with the Earth. So these are these are very powerful galactic portals, cosmic portals of energy that are being open to us. And the Pleiadian energy is that energy of deep healing, of unconditional love. It's that vibration of really this beautiful alchemical love, how we transmute and transform our circumstances to really embody our light. So allow this energy to flow through you. And you may be listening to this weekend. You may be listening to this a year from now. You may be listening to this 6 months from now. The thing about cosmic energies is it's never really about the time when they're actually happening. It's about the time when it's right for your soul to receive these activations, to integrate these bits of code, of harmony. That's the visual I just got, like notes on a scale. Those notes come into alignment when we're at the point where we have mastered enough of our frequency that now we can sing a high A. If you're a singer, you might get this analogy. You might need to train your voice or your body in order to sustain that note. And then the note comes and it just falls into place exactly where it needs to be. This is exactly what frequencies are like. You integrate them and you receive them when your body is ready to integrate them. And how do we integrate? We allow ourselves time. We give ourselves the space to feel, to incarnate, to embody, to really delve into that frequency. We give ourselves time and space to receive, to fully receive. So we open. We need to be open in order to receive and to embody. So the opening of yourself to receive the higher frequencies that are in alignment with your highest self. So whenever we go into an energy healing or a sound healing or any kind of spiritual work, the intention should always be for your highest good, in alignment with your soul and the highest light, the highest good. Because again, there's lots of frequencies out there. Some are a different resonance. And it's a matter of, where do you want to be vibrating? Where do you want to be expanding? What is it that you desire to delve into? And then we take it from there. And the Black Madonna is a very protective energy as well. She is that cosmic mother. She protects and loves all her children. And she also will show you things that you need to deal with. You know, if you have to do your homework, you need to do your homework. It's, we respect the Great Mother. And we honor the Great Mother and allow the infinite light that is showing and unveiling and revealing through the Black Madonna to show us where we need to shift, to transform, to elevate, to expand, to cultivate, to nourish, to nurture. How much more love can we embody? How much more grace? How much more compassion? How much more forgiveness? How much more? Because remember, there is infinite. Expansion is infinite. Creation is infinite. Love is infinite. Abundance is infinite. Grace is infinite. Compassion, forgiveness, everything is infinite in this expanded version of our multiverse. Everything is infinite. So what are we expanding? How are we mastering our energy? How are we employing our energy? How are we allowing this energy to flow forth? And how are we holding this infinite light for one another? Because no one does anything alone. We all stand on the shoulders of our ancestors, on the shoulders of our loved ones, of those people that supported us and loved us, especially at those moments when we really needed that support. So how many people have supported you and helped you and encouraged you? I've lost count of how many people have supported me, and I'm deeply grateful for every single one of them. And each one of those people taught me a different lesson. And some of them are active parts of my life now. Some of them aren't, because the contract is complete. And oftentimes we can kind of question, well, if that was really the one, or however, then it should have worked out. No, that's not necessarily how those situations work. We're all here to grow and to learn and to expand and to cultivate ourselves. And people come into our lives for the purpose of mutual co-creation and expansion. And sometimes it's short-lived, sometimes it's years-long friendships that you stay together and love one another, even though you're on opposite sides of the world. You still reach out and say, hey, what's shaking? What you doing? Oh, hey, just thought I'd say I love you. Have a beautiful day. Those are the soul friendships and the soul family and the soul tribe. So even if you send those people love in your heart, just send them love. Send them grace, send them healing, send them everything that they may need, that you may not even be aware of. Just be like, Spirit, Divine Mother, Father, God, Goddess, send these beautiful beings whatever it is that they need at this point. May they have all that they need, all that they desire for their expansion, for their growth, for their evolution, in love, in gratitude, and in grace. What if we made that our prayer? To send love to the earth, to one another, to the skies, to the birds, to the trees, to the mycelium network, the fungi in the earth, through the ley lines and vortices. Send love. Send activations of infinite light. How quickly would this world change if we all just stopped judging, stopped guilting, stopped the shame, stopped the bullshit. Just stop. And instead, we expressed gratitude. We expressed grace. We expressed love. Like, okay, I don't like the way you're behaving, but you know what? I'm going to send you love, and I'm just going to go over here somewhere. Let you do your shenanigans over there. That's it. You don't have to feed what you don't want to feed. Just send love and be on your way. Imagine what could be birthed if this is the perspective that we took. To stand in our power, to feel our feelings, take responsibility for ourselves, in the awareness that everything is a mirror of our inner world. So how much transformation, how much alchemy can I go through within? What mysteries are ready to be revealed to me at this point in time? This is that frequency of Scorpio. In full awareness, in full ownership of everything, allowing yourself to take a step forward from a place of empowerment, from a heart-centered place of empowerment, to create beauty and joy and ease and flow in your life. This is the portal to transform, to transmute, to alchemize, whatever you want to release. Cancel, clear, delete, release. Remember what I said about releasing. Anything you want to let go of, shed, transmute. Now, this is the opportunity. So let's go into the companion sound healing, and let's allow ourselves to shed whatever needs to be let go of, and to stand in our power and sovereignty, allow ourselves to go into the mysteries, and allow what is for you, for your highest evolution, to be revealed to you in infinite light, in infinite grace, in infinite love, as we are protected by the arms of the beautiful Black Madonna. Ahava, happy new moon. Thank you so much for listening. And if you feel called to join me in ceremony, I believe we have less than a day, because the ceremony will be on 11/11 at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard via Zoom. So if you feel called to, please visit the link that is in the show notes. If you enjoyed this, please drop me a comment. You can share your experience, share how you're receiving this energy, share your thoughts, like this, share this, subscribe, follow, all the things that we do to share that we're excited about what we're receiving. So let's do that. And so one thing I've noticed, I do put these podcast episodes on YouTube for the sound healing. If you do not have YouTube that has no ads, I really would encourage you to go to Apple Podcasts, Samsung, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Listen to the sound healing directly from there. RSS feed, however you like to receive your podcast. I really encourage you to do that, because during a sound healing, oftentimes someone will just kind of have an out-of-body experience, where you're basically, you kind of feel like you're asleep, but you're not. And during these times, your field is permeable. And I put protection, and I'm sure you do as well. However, you don't want those advertisements to come into your field, is my point in this. So yeah, we don't want those advertisements to come into your field at a particular point in time where the work we're doing is really deep and it's going into your energy field. So listen to this, listen to the podcast the sound healing portion of this podcast, which is the next episode. Listen to it on a platform that does not have ads, no ads. So as far as I know, I believe Apple Podcasts doesn't have ads unless it's the podcast itself allowing ads. And I haven't clicked that on because for the sound healings, I don't subscribe to that. It's kind of like if I were giving you a sound bath and you were in my temple space, that's the frequency that I am transmitting through the podcast for the sound healing. So it's a pristine container, and I want your energy field to be as protected as possible. So again, listen to this on a platform that does not intersperse ads. And I'm going to figure out how I can actually put the episodes directly on my website. That way you can just go somewhere where you know that you're not going to get an ad interspersed in between, sound healing bowls. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to figure out how to do that. But for now, until I sort that out, if you will please listen to the sound healing on a platform that does not have advertisements that will be interspersed in during the sound healing. Before or after doesn't really matter, as long as it's not going to be once we begin. And I'm going to post this reminder in print as well as on the beginning of the next section, which is our beautiful cosmic sound healing. So if you feel called to join me in Joshua Tree, we're taking registrants. Please feel free to check out the link. And I invite you to delve deeper into this frequency, because again, we all receive energy in different ways. So I invite you to go deeper so you can see what mysteries this new moon in Scorpio have for you. Ahava, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.